What does a man feel before death? A question that may seem morbid, yet is undeniably intriguing. As we journey through life, there's one destination we all share, one experience that unites the living: death. It's a topic that's often danced around, a conversation that's routinely avoided. Yet the curiosity surrounding it is as profound as the experience itself. Death, it's a part of life, an inevitable end to our time on this vast blue planet. It's a shared experience, yet one that is deeply personal and unique to each individual. We, as humans, are naturally inclined to ponder over life's greatest mysteries, and death happens to be one of them. The universality of death, its inevitability, and the mystery that shrouds it all contribute to our shared curiosity. It's a topic that's as old as time, yet remains as relevant as ever. While it might be uncomfortable, it's a question that everyone, at some point, has pondered. The fear of the unknown is a deeply ingrained human trait, and death, being the ultimate unknown, often provokes intense fear. Consider the story of Marjorie, an 83-year-old woman who, while facing her final days, expressed her deep-seated dread about what lies beyond life. She spoke of sleepless nights, her mind filled with unanswered questions. Will there be pain? Will there be peace? This fear manifested as acute anxiety, disrupting her ability to find comfort in her final days. Or think of Tom, a 50-year-old man diagnosed with a terminal illness. His fear was not so much about death itself, but about the process of dying. Would he suffer? Would his family suffer watching him? This fear led to panic attacks, affecting his quality of life in his remaining months. And then there's Lily, a vibrant woman in her late 60s, who, when diagnosed with a terminal disease, simply refused to accept the reality of her impending death. Her fear manifested as denial. As she continued to plan for future events she knew she wouldn't be around to experience. These stories might seem different on the surface, but they share a common thread. They're all about the fear of the unknown. The unknown that is death can be terrifying. It can keep us up at night, cause our hearts to race, or make us ignore reality. It can make us feel small, vulnerable, and incredibly human. But why do we fear death? Psychologists suggest it's because death represents the ultimate unknown. We humans are curious creatures, always seeking answers, but death is one question we can't answer, not until we experience it ourselves. And that uncertainty can be scary. This fear of death isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a natural human response. It's a reflection of our instinctive desire to survive, to keep on living, to keep on experiencing. It's a fear that's been passed down through generations, a fear rooted in our very DNA. So whether we like it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not, the fear of death is something many of us carry within us. It's a part of being human. It's a part of our journey through life. The fear of death is a reflection of our instinctive desire to survive, and it's a feeling many of us can relate to. On the other hand, some people experience a profound sense of acceptance as they approach death. Picture this, a woman in her late 70s, let's call her Susan, who, after a long battle with illness, finds herself at peace with the idea of death. Instead of fear, she feels a calm acceptance, a readiness to embrace what's next. Her religious beliefs provide a comforting backdrop to her final days. She believes in a hereafter, a place where she will be reunited with loved ones who've passed before her. This faith, this certainty, brings her a sense of peace. Then there's John, a man in his 80s, who has lived a full, satisfying life. He's traveled, loved, laughed, and cried. He's experienced the highs and lows life has to offer, and now, as he faces death, he does so with a sense of completion. He's ready, not because he's tired or ill, but because he's lived. His life satisfaction enables him to accept death as the final chapter in his rich, captivating story. And let's not forget Mary, a woman in her 60s battling a painful disease. For her, death represents an end to suffering. She has fought hard, but the pain has been relentless. Now she sees death as a release, a way to finally be free from the physical torment. Her acceptance of death is not a surrender, but a brave acknowledgement of her reality. Each of these individuals, Susan, John, and Mary, have faced their impending death with a calm acceptance. Their reasons vary, but they share a common thread, the understanding that death is a part of life. Their acceptance doesn't make them any less human. It doesn't mean they love life any less. It's just that they have found a way to look death in the eye and say, "I'm ready." Acceptance, it seems, can bring a strange sort of peace in the face of our own mortality. Regret, too, is a common emotion felt before death. As we delve deeper into the complex emotions experienced at life's end, we encounter the poignant stories of those who mourn not just the impending loss of life, but also the dreams that remained unrealized and the opportunities that slipped away. Consider the tale of a woman named Martha. All her life she harbored a deep desire to paint, to create art that would move people. But the demands of a 9-to-5 job and family responsibilities left her with little time to devote to her passion. As she neared the end of her life, she expressed a deep regret for not having pursued her artistic dreams. Then there's the story of Robert, a man who spent his entire life in one town working a steady but uninspiring job. As he faced his mortality, he was gripped by regret for the adventures not taken, the places not seen, the experiences not lived. Regret, in these circumstances, can lead to an overwhelming sense of sadness and remorse. It's a painful realization of the dreams that will forever remain dreams, the paths not taken, the life that could have been but was not. But it's not just about personal aspirations. Regret can also stem from missed chances to express love, to mend broken relationships, or to make amends. Like the story of John, who wished he had reconciled with his estranged brother, or Sarah, who regretted not telling her children just how much they meant to her. These stories are not unique. They echo the sentiments of countless individuals who, in their final moments, reflect on the life they lived and the opportunities they let pass by. Yet, even in its melancholy, regret serves a purpose. It offers a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of time and the importance of seizing the day. It encourages us to live authentically, passionately, and fully, so that when our time comes, we have fewer regrets and more memories of a life well lived. Regret before death reminds us of the importance of living our lives to the fullest. Let's embrace this reminder and strive to live a life rich in experiences, relationships, and fulfillment. Finally, there's the hope that one's life will have meant something, that one will leave a legacy behind. This hope can take many forms, and it's often as unique as the individual who carries it. It could be a mother who finds peace in knowing she's raised compassionate children, children who will carry her values and love into the future. Or perhaps it's the artist, whose paintings, music, or stories will continue to inspire and provoke thought long after they're gone. Let's take a moment to delve into a few such stories. Consider the story of a school teacher from a small town. She dedicated her life to shaping the minds of her students, filling them with knowledge and fostering a love for learning. When she was nearing the end of her life, she found comfort in knowing that the seeds she had sown in the minds of her students would continue to grow, bloom, and bear fruit. Her legacy was the impact she had on generations of students who would carry her lessons with them throughout their lives. Then, there's the story of a humble gardener who spent his life tending to a community park. He found solace in the thought that the trees he planted, the flowers he nurtured, would continue to provide beauty and sanctuary to his community. His legacy was the living, breathing garden that would continue to flourish, serving as a testament to his dedication and love for nature. These stories, and countless others like them, demonstrate the profound human desire to be remembered, to leave a mark on the world. It's the hope that our actions, our contributions, however big or small, will echo into the future long after we're gone. This hope for legacy is a powerful force, driving us to live our lives with purpose, with intention, and with love. The hope for legacy, it appears, is a testament to our desire to matter, to have our lives mean something. So, what does a man feel before death? Fear, acceptance, regret, hope. It's a mixture of emotions that's as complex as life itself. We've traversed through the labyrinth of feelings that surface when one contemplates the end. Fear, the primal emotion, strikes first, looming over like a shadow, making the unknown seem daunting. Then comes acceptance, a tranquil realization of our mortal nature, a quiet surrender to the inevitable. The path then winds towards regret, a poignant echo of dreams unfulfilled and opportunities missed. But it's not all despair. There's hope, the beacon of optimism that kindles the desire to leave a legacy, to be remembered, to make a mark. These emotions intertwine, creating a tapestry as diverse as the people who experience it. Each thread represents a different feeling, a distinct experience. While the question may remain a mystery, it's a reminder of the depth and complexity of our human experience, even at the very end.